I don't know. I just feel like it was just something about him. I think I couldn't really put my finger on it, but it was something about him that I didn't like. But also, I really didn't care for a lot of males or boyfriends, that mom had that wasn't dead. Like I still was stuck in the mind frame. Like I want our mom and our dad to be together. So I think that probably had a lot to do with it. But then, it's his attitude
Forward,
shown itself.
what do you remember, or do you remember anything? Because I know, again, we were really young, but if anything, what do you remember about the day that he actually hit on her? We might have gone like to the welfare office or something, and we standing at the bus stop, me and mom, and while we're waiting for the bus or whatever, I don't know, some crackhead or something like that, he runs up on mom. I'll just ask you, like, how did that, or did that, how did that affect you going outside of him? Did that change you in any way going towards, in relationships, or, now that you've seen that or whatever with your mom and her situation, and even her still being with him, did it affect you in any way going forward in relationships? And the reason I ask that is because guys and girls, a lot of times when you grow up in a household of abuse, it can skewer your brain in the sense to where you think that's okay because that's all you know. Like you see your mom or your father, possibly hitting their spouse or whatever the case is, and when you get your own spouse or you get in a relationship, it tends to recycle. It tends to, like, you tend to either hit on someone or you allow yourself to be abused because you almost like grew up in that same setting and you think that it's okay, or whatever. So did it affect you in any way?
Yeah, I mean, well, I never thought it was okay, and in the three actual real relationships that I had in my lifetime, I never encountered any physical abuse. I've encountered mental abuse in my first relationship, and I mean, I guess like I guess I did kind of push it to the side or brush it under the rug because it wasn't something that happened all the time, but it happened every now and again, and every now and again it's still happening in my mind. So I mean, that part, it made me feel like I'm not gonna ever let nobody say whatever they want to say to me, knowing what happened with my mom, and you definitely not gonna put your hands on me. So like I said, if that was to happen or whatever, I feel like the first time it would have happened, I would have told you, I would have told mom, somebody. But like I said, thank God that never happened. I never encountered any physical abuse, and I would just hope that I would have the courage, or the strength to say something about it and not just deal with it like it's okay. Because a lot of times I used to think like to mom, like, why she ain't telling nobody? Like,
Right.
tell our dad, somebody will beat him up,
Right.
something
Right.
like that. And I just remember being mad at her for that. Like, why are we just going on like that didn't happen? But like I said, like I'm a kid at that time, so it's a lot of things I really didn't understand. But I know she knew it wasn't right.
Right.
But I just didn't understand why she wasn't actually doing something about it.
Now the verbal abuse that you encountered, like when that was, because I didn't know that was happening, but at the point in time where that was happening, did that like, did you know that also wasn't okay, or did you like deal with it and keep the relationship going when you were being verbally abused? So I'm
Uh,
guessing it was probably like on a belittling type of level to where.
yeah. Um, like I knew it wasn't okay, and I know how it made me feel. Like it made me feel bad. But like being 17, like and dealing with the older guy at that time, it was like
I'm trying to think of who it was. No, I'm not gonna say it.
I'm just I don't know, like I said, I just knew it wasn't okay, and I knew how it made me feel. But since it didn't happen often, I really didn't say much about it, or I guess give it that much thought after it was over. Like I just knew it made me feel bad, and like that was that. But other than that, I really didn't. I guess I really did brush it under the rug. I didn't really make it an issue like I probably should have.
Gotcha. I think on my side of it or whatever, it altered my thought pattern in relationships. Actually a lot, but not just that situation. That's probably what I'll touch on in another video. But it did teach me how to move going forward in regards to women or whatever. That's something I also, like, I told myself that I would never do. Because again of seeing how distraught my mother was in that point in time. So when it came to relationships, like I would kind of like almost like make sure, no matter how mad you get, don't put your hands on your woman or whatever, and don't verbally abuse her as well. But I was so focused on don't put your hands on her or whatever, to where, when it got to the point where me and my ex, and we had that situation, where Antoine was home and everything else that I spoke on in the UNSAID poem, that was my indicator that, okay, this is over. Like, this is done. Because my fear was that being a pattern. Normally with abuse, especially physical abuse, it escalates. You do it once, you say all your sorries and everything else, and then somehow, some way, you might get to that anger point again, and you might go harder the next time and hit harder, and up until a point where somebody can get hurt, really, really hurt, like hospital hurt, or get killed. And that scared me or whatever, to where even though, like I said, it was a jab, I wasn't throwing anything else after that, but that was enough, what I mean, to where soon as we were physically touching each other in ways that wasn't right or wasn't supposed to be, that was a big indicator for me, like, all right, this gotta end, this gotta stop, because I was really scared that I would lose. I've never lost control like that before with anyone, even her. Like, I've never lost my head that much and got that angry or whatever, and that scared me, because deep down I kind of was like feeling like with Dag, like something I never said I would do. I said I would never do it, and I just did it, what I mean. And even to see her in that moment, and she was like a different woman in that moment, again, because of, I don't know whether she took some or not, but even so, still to see her kind of like, there was shock, there was like surprise on her face, oh my God, like that type of shock or whatever. And through my anger and everything else, like, 'cause I was pissed off, yelling this, that, and the third, and Antoine jumped in between us, it kind of really like took me back once I sat down and thought about it, like, wow, like I've done something that I didn't think I would ever do, and that scared me. And abuse, I never wanted to be that guy who would go to the person that I like just put my hands on and said something like, oh, well, it'll never happen again, I apologize, I'm sorry, but I'll never put my hands on you again. Because what I tell all y'all, or what I will tell all of you, is a lot of times when you hear that, and I know there's a lot of women who are being abused as we speak, and they're brushing it under the rug, or they feel like nobody can help them, or nobody knows, or whatever, and they're trying to keep that information under wraps. What I will say is, when the guys tell you things like, well, I'm sorry and I apologize and it'll never happen again, there's a good chance that it's going to happen again. I want to see like a 95 to 99% chance that it'll happen again. If the guy who's telling you right now that I apologize, I lost my head, or I hit on you because I love you, or anything wild, because there's a lot of different things that a guy will tell you, and we're masters at making women feel like it's their faults. I think that's something that's also in our DNA, to where every man knows how to make a woman feel like it's her fault, even if it's not her fault. So I know, like, a lot of things that guys tell women, especially when they do something wrong, like hitting their woman, if he's not actively seeking outside help in regards to him abusing you, he's going to abuse you again, because there's a sickness somewhere within it that he's not acknowledging, or he's not looking to fix for himself. It's not as easy as just saying, I'm never going to do it again. And I know that that's what guys say, but it's not. So it's one of them things to where if he's really truthfully, trying to stop doing that and stop hurting you physically or emotionally or whatever, most of the time that's something that he's working on, and he's going to therapy, or if he's at church, he's talking to his pastor. He's seeking some outside help to fix the problem, because he acknowledges the problem. If he's just saying it just so you're not mad at him again, there's a great chance that he's going to do it again, because couples argue, people get mad or whatever, and if he gets to a point to where he's upset and he wants to swing on you, and he's done it once, there's a great chance he's going to do it again. So I'll say to all the women out there, and even men, if y'all getting abused, because nowadays the world is flipped upside down, I would say, if you got to a point where you're being hit on and abused physically, emotionally, or whatever, you guys have to start making some decisions. I would never try to tell you what to do in your relationship. Everyone is unique, but you really have to start making some decisions for you, and possibly if you have children. Again, seek help. if possible. Don't think that you're alone. I know that our story isn't unique in any way, and I know there's a lot of stories out there that are way worse than what we've encountered. And certain stories are still going on in regards to, I've talked to certain females, and they said that, their mothers who have ever been abused, like all the way up, like from a young age all the way to almost now. And, it's something that they kind of were in the household of. I can only imagine what that might do to a person. So just seek help. I would say to any female out there who wants to share her story, I'm going to leave all my information there, because I'm going to kind of try or attempt to create a platform to where, if you're comfortable, or if you want to kind of get your story out and speak on it, I'll allow you to do so. I'll let you sit right here where my sister is, or if you don't even want me there, you just want the camera so you can tell your own story, I want you to do so. I think one of the biggest things is talking about it. The reason I have my sister here is because I realized that even though we were so young, we've never acknowledged it. Just like she's been saying, like she kind of buried it, I buried it. To some degree, I think our mother buried it, to where once the situation was done and she was outside the relationship, we never really spoke on it again. It's kind of like we just kind of moved on as if it almost didn't happen, and that can kind of create certain feelings inside you and alter you and change you, whether you're carrying hate for that person or whatever. So, so a lot of times just talking about it is the best thing. So, you guys are more than welcome. I'll leave all my contact information to do so, and I just kind of want to create small change to create big change. So again, talking about it would be that small change. Is there anything you want to say on the way out? Whatever.
No, just like you said, just to I guess touch on like what you mentioned about, if you are being abused in any way, just to talk to somebody that you really trust, or feel that can give you the best advice, because like you said, 9 times out of 10, if it happened the first time, it's going to happen again if that person don't want to seek help, or if they feel they don't have a problem. I know a lot of friends that came to me and tell me that they're being abused, and that person feels like they don't have a problem. And when they feel like they don't have a problem, it's never going to be a solution, because they feel they're fine.
Right.
So, just like you said, just to talk to somebody and seek help, because it's never okay. I don't care what they tell you, it's never okay. Any form of abuse is not okay.
Correct. So that, guys, was episode 4 of Unsaid Moments. And again, that was a prerequisite to what happens next. So, I thank you guys for watching. I know this was a long video that will probably get chopped up by the time you hear this part. But again, stay tuned for episode 5, because there will be another guest here, and this was just a prerequisite to that situation. So I'll probably talk to you guys like in a week or so. All right. Thanks for watching.